Have you ever felt like the more you care, the faster he pulls away? Like every time you try to show your heart. Text first, be open, make the effort. It only makes him lose interest. You're not needy. You're not doing too much. But something deeper is happening here. Something almost no one talks about. There's a reason chasing feels so exhausting, and why it almost never brings the love you're craving. And there's a completely different way to attract what you want. One that doesn't involve games, pretending not to care, or dimming your light. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand one of the most powerful secrets of feminine energy, and why the women who master this don't chase love, they become it. To chase is to lean forward. It's to reach for something, or someone, in the hope that your effort will earn their affection, their validation, or their presence. But here's the truth. Chasing is rooted in fear. Psychologically, it often stems from anxious attachment, a response formed in early childhood where love was inconsistent, so we learned to perform to receive affection. Dr. Amir Levine, in his book Attached, explains that anxiously attached people tend to over-pursue connection, interpreting distance as a threat rather than a boundary. Spiritually, chasing signals misalignment. When we chase, we are not in our center. We are bending, stretching, and abandoning our own emotional safety to try and secure someone else's love. But love that must be chased is not love that is earned. It is love that is unstable. You might not call it chasing, but it can look like constantly initiating conversation, waiting anxiously for his replies, trying to prove you're low maintenance, reassuring him of your worth, asking where the relationship is going, again and again, saying yes when you want to say no, just to keep the peace. But what triggers that behavior? You might be tempted to chase when you've had a great first date, and then he pulls away slightly, so you text him first to keep the momentum going. He stops calling as much, and instead of asking why, you double your effort, offering to cook for him, drive to see him, or bring up sweet memories just to spark closeness again. You sense emotional distance, and instead of voicing your needs, you become overly accommodating, agreeing to last-minute plans, avoiding conflict, or pretending things don't bother you. He tells you he's not ready for anything serious, and you interpret that as a challenge, thinking maybe if you're patient and loving enough, he'll change his mind. At first glance, it may look like effort, openness, or simply being emotionally available. But underneath, there's usually a fear of being abandoned, a fear that if we don't chase, we'll be forgotten. But here's the paradox. The more you chase, the less magnetic you become. And that's the part no one tells us. That attraction doesn't happen through effort alone. It happens through energy, through presence, through how we carry ourselves when we stop reaching and start remembering who we are. So what does that look like? Let's talk about feminine energy, and why it's one of the most powerful forces of attraction you'll ever embody. Feminine energy doesn't strive. It receives. It radiates. It calls in. This is not weakness, it's power. It's what poet Nayyirah Waheed meant when she wrote, "Stay soft. It looks beautiful on you." True feminine energy is like the moon, quiet, still, and gravitational. It pulls. It doesn't beg. The magnetism of the feminine comes not from proving her worth, but from being her worth. When a woman is in her feminine essence, she knows, I don't chase love. I attract love that sees me. Author Robert Greene, in The Art of Seduction, explains that people are drawn not to desperation, but to mystery, calm confidence, and self-possession. Neuroscience supports this. When we chase someone, especially from anxiety, we activate the amygdala, the brain's fear center. This puts us in survival mode, not connection mode. But when we rest in safety, in stillness, we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the place where true connection and intimacy flourish. Being magnetic means you are safe in your body. You're not addicted to the dopamine rush of pursuit and rejection. You're centered, calm, and deeply attuned to your own energy. Spiritually, chasing is a declaration of lack. It says, I don't believe love will come to me unless I fight for it. But being magnetic is an act of trust. It's saying, I believe what is meant for me is already seeking me. It's knowing you don't need to trade your peace for presence. You don't need to audition for love. In Proverbs 4:23 it says, guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Chasing empties the well. Magnetism fills it. Let's be honest. Society has taught women that if we're not trying, we're failing. Movies, media, and even old dating advice tells us, be available, be flexible, make it easy for him. But being magnetic doesn't mean being passive. It means being clear, grounded, and unattached to outcomes. It means embodying your truth so fully that you become undeniable. A magnetic woman doesn't ignore someone she likes. She simply doesn't abandon herself in the process. She makes eye contact. She smiles. She may even initiate. But she doesn't overextend. She doesn't over-explain. She doesn't try to force a connection that isn't being reciprocated. Because she knows her energy is sacred, and whoever she chooses to share it with must meet her, not chase her. Let's be clear. Love requires effort, but not chasing. Effort is mutual. It's open-hearted. It's grounded in reality. Chasing is one-sided. It's insecure. It's full of fantasy and fear. Effort says, I want to get to know you. Chasing says, I need you to complete me. There's a difference, and it matters. So how do you stop chasing and start attracting? Pause before you pursue. Ask, am I reaching from fear or from fullness? Return to your body. Practice grounding. Breathe deeply. Reclaim your presence. Affirm your worth. Say, I am not chosen by effort. I am chosen because I embody who I am. Let go of urgency. What is meant for you is not in a rush. Love arrives on divine timing, not desperation. You don't have to run after love. You don't have to shrink, bend, or become a version of yourself just to be noticed. Your softness is not a liability. Your stillness is not laziness. Your self-respect is not a game. It is sacred. The feminine art of not chasing is a return to yourself. It is the moment you decide that love must meet you where you are, not where you lose yourself trying to be. If this message stirred something in you, if you found yourself chasing and are ready to stop, I invite you to subscribe. Because this is a space to return to your softness, your power, your truth. Comment below and tell me, what part of this message resonated with you the most? And share this with a sister who needs to be reminded of her magnetism. Thank you for being here with me in Sacred Flame Sisterhood. Let yourself be chosen by the life, the love, and the wholeness that are already waiting for you. What you seek is seeking you too. You were never meant to chase. You were meant to remember your power,